Hello there App Spy viewers, my name's Peter and I've got a hands-on video for you. This time it is with Imps in Tokyo. This is coming out of We Are Vigilantes, and we've covered them a little bit on App Spy. We Are Vigilantes has a really interesting style with Imps in Tokyo, in that it is really sort of tongue-in-cheek humour, very full of character, and I actually mean full of character. Rather than sort of, you know, has some sort of level of personality. Each of these imps that you're controlling, that I'm sort of controlling here by tapping and dragging on the screen, is just, you know, constantly talking, constantly shouting about stuff, is, you know, has a little personality all of their own, has lots of backstory, and there's a weird sort of social media hashtag related kind of visual hook going on as well. I'm going to smack into this chat. There we are. Where there's often things like people will be talking about, you know, hashtag stupid, you know, or you know, hashtag brave or something like that. Like it really does crib from modern social media culture. Why? I've no idea, but I quite like it. There's a painterly style to all of this. Into all of the backgrounds, but then here we are. Look, we've got these character descriptions. Hester has a poisonous tail. That's useful for you to know as a player. Is a big sis, so you know what their relationship is in the story. Girl power. All right. So you'll see that I've got a bit of a trail coming off the back of my tail here, and that means that I can sort of poison them if these enemies run through it, and that means that I can slow them down and make the game a little bit easier. The actual game itself is about surviving against these different hordes of enemies that come after you, and collecting these little bubbles of light. So you have to catch the green ones first, and then the yellow ones attached to them will turn green if you grab them in the correct order. So I'm going to go after these dive bombing ones now. Sometimes these bad guys will have grabbed little doodads as well, and they'll have their sort of stomach glowing like that, and you have to grab them, and that'll give you extra points as well. If you don't grab enough points by the end of each stage, then you kind of fail the level. And later on in the game there are spiked enemies, there are different kinds of enemies, basically different types of adversaries that come up against you. Some will do very different tactics. So this is very early on in the game, and yeah, it's kind of this is kind of quite basic gameplay, but it totally gives you an example of the tone, the visual tone. There we are. So there we are. They had spikes, and Harvey turned the spiky one into a rabbit type of thing. So it's a really weird game. There we are. Look, at the H team. I think it's got a really lovely style. I love the fact that the objectives are make a rabbit. How do you set out knowing what to do with that stuff? And yeah, there's a bunch of story in there as well to appreciate. It's a really lovely look, a really cool tone. The gameplay is very simple. I don't know how much more complicated it actually gets, but it's engaging just enough to a firefighter hashtag attitude. Great. It's engaging just enough to keep you interested to see the rest of the really cool visual style that's going on. So that's from Team Vigilantes. It is Imps in Tokyo. It is out 17th of February, and it's weird and kind of cool. This is Peter with AppSpy.com. We review, you decide.